Well, I got the call again, and it seems as of late when I use that phrase, I've been getting a lot of flack. I've been ruffling up a lot of feathers. But all I can say, guys, is that as competitive as the Hot Wheels collecting world is right now, I hope all of you have some kind of advantage to get you the cars to add to your collection, guys. And for all those collectors that think that there is a level playing field out there, first and foremost, guys, don't be so naive. Don't be a soft collector when you see another collector have an advantage. I encourage all of you to find a way to get the cars that you need into your collection, because guys, they're not just going to be sitting on the pegs waiting for you to pick them up. But back to the show, guys. Rant complete. I got the call, dropped by my Walmart, and this was what I was presented with. A full display of Hot Wheels Boulevard's greatest hits. Not just one, not just two, but three full displays. And as you can see, I didn't even take all of the sought after cars, the ER34 Super Silhouettes, the EK9s, the 4Runners. And I'm going to guess as of late throughout all social media, Facebook especially, Instagram, YouTube, you've probably seen a number of people find similar lots just like this. Again, Boulevards, Walmart exclusive, hottest hits, the ER34, the Civic, the 4Runner. There's also a Subaru STI, which, surprise, surprise, I didn't grab just because I have plenty of the numbered version already. But these are the ones that I picked up, and they're the ones that a lot of people are picking up and trying to move on the secondary market right now for about $10 a piece. I mean, I feel like the last week or two, it's been a flood of these posts. As I flash them up here on the screen, you will see, I mean, just basically a posting every hour. It's actually quite comical. But to me, that means that Hot Wheels literally produce these greatest hits of Boulevards to the moon. I mean, I bet you the quantity of production of these cars are just astronomical. I only took 5 of each, 4 of the 4Runner and 1 of the Mercedes-Benz AMG, just because I didn't have that one in my collection. But all you see in front of you, guys, that was already $100 worth of Hot Wheels Boulevards. And that leads me to the topic of the day. When did the exclusivity of Hot Wheels go away? I mean, they can't even number their Boulevard set, which was such a hot series. It still is, but the fact that they're taking off the series number on these and that they're mixing and matching and re-releasing, on top of all the other aspects of Hot Wheels that made it so exclusive, so great, they're taking that away. We're going to touch on that in today's video that I am boldly titling, Make Hot Wheels Great Again. Alright, so to beat a dead horse, let's take another look at these Boulevard hottest hits unnumbered and just compare them to the actual numbered cars. So the ER34 Super Silhouette, number 70, this is the original release. I mean, if you look at the car, you look at the card art, it's exactly the same as the greatest hits. The only thing, again, missing is that number logo here. And then if you look at the Honda Civic Type R EK9, again, out of the same series, number 73, the original release with the CJ's graphic there on the side. Card art and car are exactly the same as the hottest hits, the greatest hits release that we are now seeing at our Walmarts. So to me, it means one thing. These right here, these re-releases are Hot Wheels and Mattel's key to reproducing these cars over and over again, kind of like a money printing machine, because they know as the collectors we are hooked. These are the cars that we want. We're going to continue to buy them, as many as they can output for us. And without that series number there, Hot Wheels doesn't have to follow a sequential order for these Boulevard releases anymore, which again means that the production lines can keep running and they can output as many as they want. We've also seen this in Target 2-packs where Hot Wheels is able to reproduce a very sought after car, kind of like this example here. The Nismo Team Transport Nissan Skyline R34, they brought it back in a Target exclusive 2-pack, albeit paired with a brand new release of an R32 in Nismo livery. But again, cheap and easy way to use the same cast, same release, but double the sales, double the profits. And I see that here in 2024 they are going to bring back a very popular, very sought after Porsche 993 GT2 in a very similar yellow color, a lot like this very sought after Boulevard release that right now currently sits at about $250. They're going to bring this back in, you guessed it, a Target 2-pack, and it does have some subtle differences. I believe the one that's going to be released here in 2024 in the 2-pack will have black wheels versus the gold wheels in the original Boulevard release, but it's just too close for comfort. Again, it moves Hot Wheels away from that exclusivity that we've grown to love as collectors, and it just means that there's gonna be a plentiful amount for everybody, and it makes the collectability aspect of these cars very non-existent. And now let's look at RLC, Redline cars that should be the poster child for exclusivity, hard to find, sought after, highly collectible Hot Wheels, right? Well, not in the last couple of years, especially because production numbers are no longer serialized on the back of the cards as they used to be, so you never know how many of these things are ever produced. At this point, it's just purely speculation. On top of that, pre-order quantities, and yes, I said pre-order quantities nowadays are always 2 per account, as they were with each of these 3 recent releases from RLC. You got the Honda Integra Type R, the Nissan Skyline, the Mazda RX-7 R1, which is in fact a first edition. All of them were pre-orders at 2 per account, which again doesn't really bode well to the idea that they are exclusive. Pretty much anybody and everybody who wants one gets one, which is fair, but at the same time, having purchased a $10 RLC account, having purchased a brand new Overdrive account this year, I thought that the production numbers were going to reflect the idea that these are, from the get-go, highly collectible and would have low production quantities that would attest to the Redlineclub name, but sadly, they don't. I mean, specifically looking at just this Honda Integra Type R release, I mean, yes, it does come in the iconic Phoenix Yellow, but it's not Spectra Flame. I mean, that has always been a signature of RLC, that we would always get Spectra Flame cars. I mean, this release in this enamel yellow here, not even metallic flake, just enamel yellow, you could almost call this a $30 premium release coming out of RLC, which is just unheard of. So again, it takes away from that exclusivity that RLC stands for. I mean, these are all 90s classic JDM cars, which right now in the diecast collecting market should be hot. I mean, if this was 2018, 2019, and these came out on RLC, these would all easily be $100 in value on the secondary market right now, but they're not. The yellow Integra Type R right now sitting at about 30 to 40. The R34 Chameleon, again, based on name value only, is sitting around the $80 price point, but compare that to every other R34 RLC release that's come out in the last 4 to 5 years. They're all sitting in the $150, $200 plus category, which would make this $80 secondary market value very low. And then this Mazda RX-7, which honestly looks great, but the fact that they produced so many of these, they sat on the Mattel Creations website for over 2 months, and right now secondary market, they're still just sitting at about retail price at about $30, $40. I mean, they really didn't do this classic JDM RX-7 justice. by overproducing it so much to where collectors just don't really value it that much. I mean, time will tell where these castings and these releases will go, but again, Hot Wheels is not starting off on the right foot with these RLC releases today. But all is not lost. Even though Hot Wheels and Mattel don't care about the exclusivity of their DieCash Cars anymore, as a collector, there is still a way to combat the non-exclusivity and be able to still collect what is very sought after and hard to find. Me personally, my go-to for all Hot Wheels is I'm always looking for the factory sealed versions of these cars. As you guys know, factory sealed cars usually come out of the mini sets, which are no longer, and the master sets, which are typically numbered to about 1,250 to 1,500. I've yet to see them go up to 2,000. Who knows? Maybe 2024 it'll go up to 2,000. But nonetheless, when it comes to Hot Wheels mainlines, super treasure hunts, or just very sought after releases, kind of like this R32, I'm always targeting factory sealed cars. I mean, the sentimental value is there from a collector side of things, and monetary value. I mean, you can see it clear as day in the price points of these cars on the secondary market. For example, the Nissan Skyline R34 Super Treasure Hunt normally would sell for about 120, 130, but again, if it's factory sealed, the value goes straight up to 160. And this plain Jane mainline Godzilla R32 that came out last year in 2023, secondary market is sitting at about $2 to $3, but if you got that factory sealed sticker on there, it's up to $10 or $12 on the secondary market. And maybe the last string of hope of Hot Wheels being exclusive and truly special convention pieces. The only numbered Hot Wheels that we're seeing on the market today. And I have two of them here that honestly I have been keeping a very close eye on and picking them up honestly if they are at a good enough price on the secondary market. The 23rd Nationals Columbus, Ohio Camo Nissan Sylvia S15 and the 24th Annual Collectors National in Atlanta, Georgia, the Toyota Supra with all that camo and that metallic pink with the carbon fiber hood. I mean, when these both release, they raised a lot of eyebrows just because they're so extreme. I mean, first you got this fully camo that blends in with the card on the S15, and then a pink Supra, probably not everybody's cup of tea. I mean, these wheels really aren't that great, but what I've grown to really like about this Supra is that you do get a little nod to TRD. You got the red, orange, and yellow there, which again are representative of the TRD logo. And then the other thing that I think is very unique about this car is that there is an error. Hopefully you can see it. If not, take my word for it, but it should say 24th, but it says 24 and then RD. So they got a little typo there on the inscription of the convention on the spoiler of the car, which I think will go down in history as something very unique. And from a numbered situation standpoint, I mean, this Supra is numbered out of 6,200, which again adds to the collectability of the piece, and the S15 is actually numbered out of 5,000. So you could honestly say that in this world of re-releases and reproductions and unnumbered RLCs, conventions are our last hope if you want truly desirable, hard to find, collectible die-cast pieces. And who knows, I mean, at this rate, Hot Wheels could be planning to re-release convention pieces or make them unnumbered in the future, but fingers crossed that that does not happen. And I mean, in all honesty, these are going to be the pieces that I feel like will have value moving forward. I mean, even now you can see that the values are starting to go up. I mean, this S15 convention, I mean, just in the last month, it was sitting at about 120 pretty consistently. Now it's moved up to 150. You can see I actually have the dinner model celebrating Jimmy Lou. It's got the little commemorative sticker here. So, I mean, this one in particular compared to just the regular releases should be at around 200 250. I even have the cool little lean pin to kind of match along with it, which together these should kind of add up in value as well as collectability. And then this Atlanta, Georgia convention Supra, I mean, just this month alone, earlier it was sitting at about 100, now it's sitting at about 200. So again, could just be variables within the sales in the last month or so here, guys. But I personally feel that people are starting to catch on that if you want truly limited production Hot Wheels and diecast, convention is the only resort at this moment. So Hot Wheels, if you're listening, let's make Hot Wheels great again. Let's stop all the reproductions. Let's start numbering RLCs again and making sure everything comes in the appropriate spectra flame. Let's try to keep the production quantities down to a minimum so that the collectability and the value of these cars to the collectors can be maintained. Let me know what you guys think about the topic today. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time on DieCash Cars.